Hello ladies, welcome to your 9:30 Fit Club workout on a beautiful, cold, windy, not that beautiful now that I think about it, Monday morning. We're gonna get started right away. Let's begin with our warm-up, little side-to-side taps, shifting our weight all the way over from one side to the other. Good. And David, if you'll get that cue started for me. Now, a quick reminder, ladies, on Mondays these days, I do have a client right at 10 o'clock.
The next workout will begin in 60 seconds.
So I will unfortunately not be able to come and say hello and update with all of you ladies. I'm gonna have to close out of the meeting pretty much right away. So I will send you all of my love throughout the workout. You all look amazing. Did you get a haircut? I assume one of you got a haircut. Good, of course, nice and tight. Shoulders are back and down. And let's turn that across the body, reach into an overhead. Overhead, beautiful. Good. So we got ourselves a full body workout today as usual. No extra fancy accoutrement. I know the last couple of weeks I've done a stability ball workout and foam roller workout. Today, we just got hand weights. Hand weights and that's it. Beautiful. And we have 4, 3, 2, let's go into a hamstring curl, bringing it back. Good. But as usual, I'm going to try to keep you entertained as much as possible. So for today, as much as I can, I'm going to be doing what's called a nothing is the same workout. Meaning that I will be showing exercises. All 4 sets will be working the same muscle group, but the way we work it is going to vary throughout all 4 sets. Palms are facing up. This is just a little bit of an extension of what I tend to do anyway. Let's add a row.
Exercise.
Which is I like to add variety. I like to add progressions and modifications. One thing I want to emphasize, just because I am doing different things for all 4 sets does not mean that you have to.
Begin set.
I'm going to be showing possibilities. And if there's something that works better for you, you want to stick with it, that's what you'll stick with, okay? So in that spirit, I'm going to essentially be starting with the simpler version of things. And then we'll add a lot of nice variety. You can join in on the variety where you feel good and where you need to take it down a notch, just stick with the basics. Every progression I show will be optional. Good, and we have 4. We have 3.
Exercise.
We have 2, and let's go into a high knee. Bring it up, bring it up. Good. So you notice my stance here is just a little bit on the wider side, so that there's a big sort of lateral movement here.
3.
Start to get that core activated. If that lateral movement is no good, go ahead, bring those knees all the way center, keep yourself nice and upright. Gorgeous. Belly button in, back is nice and flat, core is nice and tight. Beautiful. We have 4, 3, 2, and let's go into a little hip hinge. Knees nice and soft, hands behind back. We're going to hinge it back.
Stop. Exercise.
And drive through the heels, come all the way up. Good. Now hip hinge, you do want to keep the core engaged, but unlike a plank or any kind of ab work, you don't want to tuck the tailbone like this. That's no good. You want a nice
4.
neutral back on the way down. Squeeze the glutes on the way up. And when we say tighten the core when we're hinging, it's important to keep the core tight to support that flat lower back, but it's more like you're setting your abs, like someone's gonna come up and punch in the stomach right here. So a little bit different than that squeeze we've talked about with planking. Good. And let's do just a few more here. Gorgeous. Just getting
Stop exercise and switch to the next.
Gorgeous. All right. Here's our first set. 4 sets, nothing the same. We're going to begin with a basic sumo squat. Toes turned out, feet wide apart. Sometimes I see people with their feet too close. See how my knees are going out past my ankles? That's not what we want.
Set 1.
is right on top of the ankles and on the same plane as the toes. You want to press those knees apart. And we're going to begin nice and simple, just a little pulse. Just waking up those thighs. Good morning, thighs. Good. Gorgeous. Now, about here, you can use this first set to gauge where you are physically. How challenged would you like to be today? Does this pulse feel maybe slightly easy for you?
Stop exercise.
If that's the case, you can go ahead and grab a set of hand weights. One or both. And all you're going to do is just keep them down and close to the body. For set 2, no pulses, all the way down and all the way up. Nice deep range of motion. This is actually probably going to feel a little bit easier than the pulses themselves. So to counter that, we pick up the speed. Down and up, and really explore your range of motion on the way down. Now, if for whatever reason, this one doesn't feel so good on your back or your knees, and the pulsing one, or doing it with no weight feels better, that's what you're gonna do. Good. Gorgeous. All right.
Stop exercise.
Set 3, we're gonna change it up again. We're gonna come down, this time isometric, holding it, very simple. Except that we're gonna add a calf raise on one side, and then the other, and then you pulse down.
Begin set 3.
1 and 2, and pulse. 1 and 2, and pulse, very nice. Good. And pulse, and you can kind of switch which side starts first if you want. Now, one thing I can see a lot with this one is shifting, right? We want to make sure that our torso stays nice and centered. And pulse, good. 1 and 2, and pulse. Oh, my thighs are starting to burn.
Stop exercise.
All right, set 4. This one is challenging. If you have knee issues, stick with one of the versions of sets 1 through 3. Review. That was pulsing all the way up and all the way down, or isometric.
Begin set 4.
Here's set 4. You're going to take one calf. You're going to lift it up. You're going to swivel that toe and that knee into a lunge. Pulse it down once. Bring it back. Sumo. Now notice I have to do a little tricky thing with my weights. Heel up, swivel that foot, pulse it down once. Where I have to kind of move my weight from one side of my thigh to the other. If that's too bothersome, just put the weights down. Try it with no weight. And pulse.
Stop exercise.
Good.
And switch to the
Let's
next.
do one more on the other side, just for kicks. Beautiful. All right, ladies. Down onto the mat we go. Onto our hands and knees. A little quick
Begin
chop
set
steps.
1.
Let's get into our planks. Regular isometric plank for set 1. Now this can be a knee plank, this can be a toe plank, this can be an elbow plank, or it can be a high plank on the hands. Gorgeous. Tucking your tailbone. So this is where it's a little bit different than the hinge, right? Because we want to make sure that the tailbone is tucked and the back is nice and
Stop
flat
exercise.
by squeezing the abdominals in the front of the body here. So hinge, back stays neutral, a plank, little tailbone tuck. Set 2, we're going to go into a foot tap. Foot taps, one out to one side,
Begin
then
set
to the
2.
other. Here we go. If you're doing a plank on your knees, I'd say maybe chill with this one. Just stick with your knee plank. Tap and in, doing your very best not to rotate your hips at all. Tap and in. Good. I'm going nice and slow. Good to go slow anyway, but my shoulders give me a little trouble today, so I'm just being extra careful.
Stop exercise.
Ooh, beautiful. All right. Set 3, we're going to do a shoulder tap. Now this is great for those people who are doing a knee plank and want a little bit of a challenge. Shoulder tap requires the whole arm
Begin
to come
set
up
3.
off the mat. Now if you have shoulder issues, you'll notice my feet are a little bit wider here. If you have shoulder issues and this one isn't so good for you, go back to the foot tap. Part of the fun of No Set the Same is that it's a smorgasbord of possibilities, which means that you can modify for an injury. Whew, take a little break on that one. Be extra careful.
Stop, exercise.
Good, all right, take a break. And finally, for set 4, we're gonna go into a hip dip. So this one can
Begin
apply
set
to
4.
anybody. So I'm gonna demonstrate it in a knee plank for those who may need to see it. You're gonna take one hip, you're gonna dip it down toward the floor, and then the other side. It's a small rotation through the pelvis, and you should feel this in your obliques. If I were to do this in a full plank, it would look like this. Now keep in mind that these movements are really small. No big dips. You've got a still pool of water directly underneath your hips. You're just gonna cause a tight.
Stop, exercise, and
Woo.
switch to the next station.
Beautiful, ladies. All right, let's go ahead and turn over onto our backs. We're gonna go into some bridges. Oh, so much variety to be had with our bridges. All right. First one,
Begin set 1.
pulsing. Pulsing is always such a great place to start. Tiny little movements. Here we're just waking up those glutes. Getting a baseline burn here so that our glutes are nice and warm, the temperature is up. And so we can add fatigue. More fatigue with every set. Get that breath going. Beautiful.
Stop, exercise.
Excellent. All right, set 2. Go ahead and drop your hips almost all the way to the mat. Barely tap the mat, and then come all the way up. So here the key, slow.
Begin set
Down,
2.
slow, barely tap. You're not resting. Then all the way up, slow. Down. Gorgeous. Making sure on your way up, you are very actively pinching those glutes. You're trying to squeeze your butt cheeks together. What's on the ground that's very valuable that you can pick up with your butt cheeks? Is it a limited edition playing card? Is it a pog? You guys remember pogs?
Stop, exercise.
All right, let's go ahead and take a little break with that one. I did not take a break between sets 1 and 2. So set 3, we're going to do the same thing with the range of motion, but you're going to bring your ankles and your knees all the way together.
Begin set 3.
You're going to pinch your knees together hard and come up and pinch your glutes. Same thing, very slow on the way down, very slow on the way up. But when you come up, what's going to happen is your hips are going to want to pry your knees apart. Your job is to keep that from happening. Engage your inner thighs, engage your glutes. Whoo, and feel how much it burns. Something as simple as needing to keep your knees together. Squeeze them together. It's only one
Stop,
set.
exercise.
Awesome. All right, set 4. This one gets a little bit more challenging. We're going to go into, well, it's almost St. Patrick's Day, so I'm going to call it an Irish Jig Bridge. So you're going to bring your hips up. Hips are fairly
Begin
fairly
set
close
4.
together. You're going to pick one leg up. You're going to tap the other knee with the heel, bring it up again, and drop. Nice soft landing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in your head, you can sing Rocky Road to Dublin. Beautiful, squeezing those glutes on the rocky road to double in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful, belly button in, hips are high.
Stop exercise and switch to the
Excellent.
next station.
All right, ladies, you're gonna stay on the ground, but go ahead and grab your hand weights. We're gonna go into some chest presses. Playing with variety. All right, so first, we're gonna begin with a very basic
Begin
chest
set
press.
1.
Weights directly above the breast line, you come out and down to 90 degrees and then all the way up. So a lot of what you're going to choose as far as your chest press variety today is going to have to do with how much weight you're holding. So right now you notice I've got a little bit of a brisk pace down and up because my weight is fairly light, which is going to allow me to do all of the moves today. If you're doing super heavy weight, good on you, but I will warn you when something might be a little too much.
Stop exercise.
Good. All right, so that's chest presses, wide. Let's go into chest presses, narrow. This is palms facing each other. Elbows come down by the waist. And still 90 degrees with those arms.
Begin set 2.
A lot of times people will come down and the weights are falling back toward their shoulders, or they're coming down and the weights are falling out or in. With any chest press, you just want to make sure that that weight is stacked right on top of the elbow. Whew, this pace is starting to burn. Good. All right, ladies, set 3. We're gonna try a chest fly. Quick word of caution. If you have sensitive shoulders, or if you're holding really heavy weight, a chest fly is probably not for you. Stick with one of the ones we've already done. Okay, so I'm gonna turn a little bit just so you can see. Chest fly, palms are facing each other and elbows are soft. You see how I'm slightly rounding them? You're going to come out all the way to the side as if you're hugging a gigantic tree, and then you come all the way back up. So this is nice and slow. Unlike the other chest presses we were doing, a chest fly has the weight very far away from the shoulder, which is the point of movement here. And thus, you want a lot of control. I'm changing another angle so you can see here. Good. Now, one thing I see a lot is people come out and their rotator cuff will get really wonky. I want the inside of your elbow pit to face the other one the whole time. I also want those wrists nice and straight, so no flaring back like this, okay? All right, let's take a quick break. Set 4. This is very challenging, okay? This is best if you have, again, light weights and healthy shoulders. You're gonna come out into your chest fly, and you're gonna hold. You're going to come up 2 inches and go back down 2 inches. Up 2 inches and down 2 inches without resting the elbows completely on the mat. Whew, I feel this right where my shoulder meets my chest, the outside of my pec. That's where I feel this the most.
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
Fabulous. All right, ladies, let's go into some ab work since we're down here already. Why not? We're going to begin in a seated position and we're going to progress down onto our backs. So we're going to begin with a little bit of a Russian twist. Hands in the chest, knees are softly bent. You're going to tuck your tailbone just a little bit underneath you, belly button in and lean back. You're going to bring your fingertips from one pocket to the other. Keep your eyes forward for this one. I will often coach keeping the eyes forward. Many times if the eyes go, the twist becomes deeper, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but if you are not paying attention to your lower back, eyes forward is safer. Your abs are controlling the twist. Your abs are controlling the lean back. Very good. Go ahead and let your knees open. You're going to lean forward. Excellent. Set 2. We're going to be holding a lean back. Legs are going to be marching. Okay, so if twisting isn't right for you, but you still want to try a lean back series, this could be the one. Again, tailbone tuck, belly button in, abs are squeezing to control this lean, hands at the chest. one knee comes up, followed by the other. And that's it. Now, because this one has less movement in the abs, you have to pay extra careful attention. Make sure that your abs are controlling how far you're leaning back. Your abs are bracing to hold you there. If you want more of a challenge, you can lean back a little bit farther. Good. But if that's too much for your back, come up a little bit.
Stop exercise.
Good. Whew. All right. This time we're going to go ahead and roll down onto our backs. Knees into the chest. Feels good. Dead bugs. So, both knees are at 90. Your lower back is flat against the mat. Opposing limbs are going to extend and then come all the way back. Really slow with these. Very, very slow. Good. Now, we've been doing like the chest presses and stuff. That's all been a little bit faster. Here we gotta take our time, baby. Good. Belly button in. Back is nice and flat.
Stop exercise.
Very nice. Go ahead and pull your knees in. Little lower back stretch feels so nice. And then set 4, challenging, more challenging, but should be a little bit familiar. We're going to go into a full bicycle crunch. So
Begin
hands behind
set
the
4.
head, across, across. Again, lower back is flat. Your elbows are wide. You're trying to get the opposite shoulder fairly high up off the floor. I want you to think the armpit to the knee, not the elbow to the knee, because you see what happens as I close myself off. Good, ladies. Oh, goodness. Again, quick reminder, if this isn't
Stop
working,
exercise and switch to the next
go
station.
ahead and stick with something that does. Let's come to standing. Roll to your side, be nice to yourself. And we're gonna go ahead and grab our hand weights right after I adjust my pants. So we're gonna begin with our tricep series, starting with the palms facing the back. You're gonna begin with a little pulse. You guys remember these? So core is engaged, knees are nice and soft. What we want to avoid is any pushing forward of the hips, right? We want to make sure that we're not hyperextending the lower back. Range of motion is small. And you should feel this in the back of the shoulder and the top of the tricep.
Stop exercise.
Good, very nice. Set 2, tricep kickbacks. You're gonna take a big step back, making your legs into the letter A. Chest is gonna come forward, elbows are nice and high, and you're gonna send those weights back. Straighten them out.
Set 2.
Good. So here, rather than the work being kind of right where the shoulder meets the tricep, you should feel more of the work just above the elbow. The emphasis here is on straightening the arm, not bending. A lot of times I'll see people kind of focus on that forward movement. Not so, not with this one. Good. Beautiful.
Stop
All
exercise.
right. Set 3 is going to be a combo of sets 1 and 2, and I'll show you what I mean. You can either do an A stance this time, or you could do a simple bent over hinge stance, but keep in mind the cueing we did during the warm-up. Knees nice and soft, back is flat, elbow is high. Now here's the combo. You're going to extend, you're going to hold, you're going to pulse, whoop, and then bend. Oh, God, that kills. Send it back, pulse it up, hold, and bend. Send it back, pulse it up. Oh, mama. So here we're getting the full spectrum of tricep work. Good. I told you, even though no set is exactly the same, we're hammering on a single muscle group. Very nice. Set 4. This one, if you have sensitive shoulders, might not be right for you. This is our tricep overhead press. I'm doing one weight only because my shoulder's a little bit sensitive today.
Begin
Weight
set
comes
4.
overhead. Core stays nice and tight as you send that weight down behind the head and full extension up. Your goal is to get your upper arm next to your ear. Elbows kind of pointing straight forward. Many times I see kind of a big flare out like this. You want to try to get those arms parallel as much as you can. Good. Beautiful, ladies. All right.
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
All right, ladies, our final exercise, stability work. Go ahead and grab your weights. We're going to begin with a one-legged, actually, you know what? Let's wake up the stability muscles first. I was gonna save this one for last, but we're gonna do our tightrope bicep curls. Good. We're only doing one set of these. So if you wanna do like 5 reps and then switch feet, you can. So like right here. Heel to toe, into your tightrope, doing our biceps at the same time. Good. Beautiful, ladies. Core is nice and tight, shoulders back and down. Whoop. And try not to fall over.
Stop exercise.
Good. Set 2. Feet all the way together, up onto those toes, into a high calf raise, bicep curls right here, and you're trying to hold. So this is what in ballet is known as releve, and you're trying to stay as high up in releve as possible. Bicep curls are kind of only there to challenge you. So go slow with them. No need to bust out a bunch of bicep curls. I care more about stability than I do about biceps. But you want to keep that form tight, keep those elbows close to the sides, shoulders are back and down, making sure you're not caving, all that good stuff. Whoop. Excellent, ladies.
Stop exercise.
All right, set 3, we're going to do a standing quad lift. You're going to bring one toe to about 90 degrees, like so. If you need to keep your toe tapped, that's great. Just don't keep the toe tapped next to the supporting foot. You want it a little bit forward.
Begin set
And
3.
you're going to pulse, pulse, and pulse. So here we should be getting some burn through the top of the quad, just below the hip flexor. If you want that a little bit more challenging, you just put a weight on top of your leg and pulse it. Good. Beautiful. All right, this is it for set 3. We're going to do the other side for set 4. You thought you were done with your quads. Gorgeous. So when you're on one leg, ladies, you want to do your best not to sink too much into the supporting hip. Your spine should not look like the letter C. We want hips nice and even, spine nice and stacked. I'll go ahead and face the same direction. Good. About 90
Begin
degrees.
set 4.
Or a little lower if you need to pulse it right here. That is absolutely acceptable. Otherwise, if you can challenge yourself a little bit more, pick that knee on up. You only have one set on this one side. So lift yourself out of that supporting hip. Your spine is nice and long. Good, ladies, this is our last set. I'm just going to take these last few seconds to tell you I'm so happy to see you guys here. Thank you so much for joining me today. You are fabulous. Stay safe from the wind. It's getting kind of crazy out there. Goodness.
Stop exercise.
Beautiful.
Your training is now complete.
Thank you so much for joining me, ladies. And we will see you, or I will see you next week, same time. Bye.
Thanks,
Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.